Hey, thanks so much for tuning into the Daily Dose for Spiritual Growth. Today is Soak It Up Saturday. Really, the whole purpose, again, for these daily devotionals is really to be the catalyst for you to get into His Word and to spend time with Him. This is something that we need to do consistently because it changes our perspective. It lifts us up. It helps us to understand what we do and why we do what we do. If we want to experience His healing power, we want to experience His provision, we want to experience His blessing, well, we need to be in His Word and we need to understand who He is and why He does what He does. You know, so many times we live our life as though it's to please other people. I talked about this earlier in the week, and we spend our time trying to live up to this persona, and we try to live our life in such a way that people have a good view of ourselves. And here's the thing: it's a false positive. It's a false sense of security because people will come and go. Friendships will come and go. But what we should honestly do and focus on is how God views us. What does He think of us? Let's think about that. In verse 17 and 18 of Psalm 139, listen, David says this: "How precious to me are your thoughts, God. How vast is the sum of them. Were I to count them, they would outnumber the grains of sand. When I awake, I am still with you." Here's the thing. You think people care about you. You think, and I'm sure people do. I'm sure people care about me as well. But at the end of the day, people are more about themselves than they are about us. People, that's just the natural motivation. That's just the natural sin, the natural selfishness of every single person. But you know one who isn't is God. God desires you. He thinks about you all the time. And so instead of trying to please other people, instead of trying to switch people's minds of how they think of you, let's focus on how God views us. He cares so deeply about us. And if we want to experience that satisfaction, we want to experience that fulfillment, let's choose to focus on God and not others. Let's choose to soak up His Word and be encouraged today. I want to thank you so much for tuning in all week, tuning in, learning more about the Psalm 139, Psalm of David, discovering God's depths of His grace, His love, His creation. You want to know what God created? Well, let's look in the mirror and let's understand that God's ways are better and that we are fearfully and we are wonderfully made. And God's love for us is so deep, we can never be too far from it. I want to encourage you to join us tomorrow morning as we'll start a brand new series on Jesus. This will lead us up to Easter. So I want to encourage you to join us tomorrow morning, 10:15, right on Main Street in Shrewsbury, Pennsylvania. If you're not in the area, you can join us online. And then we'll be back on Monday for another Daily Dose for Spiritual Growth.